audio recording, I guess it's plural, I don't know if it's how many there are. The audio recording or recordings, do they allege any other improper acts by Philbin outside of his potential assault?
Yes.
What else do they allege? Or do they address regarding Lieutenant Colonel Philbin?
That he contacted a member of the East Greenwich Police Department to, the allegation was he contacted a member of the East Greenwich Police Department to advise them of what had happened, and that was the allegation.
Is that it?
That's all I can remember, yes, but he contacted a friend of his on East Greenwich Police Department.
Did Sanzi make any statements about other potential improper acts by Philbin during his career?
I cannot remember any specifics.
Was there ever a statement about improper police reports or improper affidavits or signing off on false affidavits?
Objection.
I did not listen to the complete recording. I listened to most of it regarding the specific allegation that was made against Lieutenant Colonel Philbin.
And Lieutenant Colonel Philbin has a history of false statements within the state police, correct?
Objection.
If you could clarify a history of false statements.
Has he ever been known to falsify a document that was presented to any court or administrative body or even internally that was shown to be false or proven to be false thereafter?
Objection.
There was there is a document that stated he was Giglio regarding an affidavit that he filed years ago during an investigation.
Okay. What does Giglio do?
It means less than truthful in a sworn statement or as a law enforcement officer. And in future testimony, you would have to disclose that you were Giglio.
Okay. And are you aware as to whether or not Lieutenant Colonel Philbin, even before he was whatever rank he was over the years, abided by the Giglio requirement and advised people of his Giglio status when he filed affidavits for search warrants, for arrest warrants, or in court?
I don't know that answer.
Did anyone ever look into that?
Objection.
I'm not aware of if they did or did not.
Would you agree with me that if he's required to let people know that he's not truthful, in the sense that he's a Giglio, that would affect his credibility when it came to him in case he was involved in either as an arresting officer, as a prosecuting officer, as an investigating officer, or as the signatory on an affidavit for a warrant, either the arrest or search?
Objection.
Well, I can't speculate how that would be perceived.
Okay. Well, why does someone have to? If someone's Giglio, why do they have to let people know that they've been untruthful? What's the reason for that, as you understand it?
For full transparency in any type of proceeding, to let them know that in the past there was an issue with truthfulness in a report that was filed prior to whatever they're testifying in.
And how does one get Giglio? What level of proof do you need that you gave false information to be Giglio?
Objection.
I don't know that answer.
Well, you're the superintendent of the state police. You don't know what level of misdeed you need to perform in order to be Giglio?
Well, truthfulness in a sworn statement is one of them, but exactly the procedure on how to get that official designation, I believe it comes through the courts, but I'm not sure the exact person that gives you that designation.
Okay. But it's because you, in essence, filed something that was false.
That's correct.
Okay. So a member of the Rhode Island State Police, Philbin, or whatever rank he was, had previously filed a false statement with the courts by which he was determined that he had to disclose that he had made a false statement to the courts forever during his career, correct?
Yes.
Was he disciplined for that falsity?
I don't know that answer.
Okay. Why isn't someone who's been determined to have made a false statement to the courts still a member of the Rhode Island State Police?
Objection.
That is not grounds for termination. It's of concern, of course, but I don't know. I don't know how else to answer that question.
So a Rhode Island State Police employee, a trooper, and staff, whoever, who's made a false statement to a court, that's not grounds for termination.
allegation and it's investigated, and that determination could be made at that time if it's grounds for termination. But I don't know why he was not terminated for that.
Do you know who was the investigating superintendent at that time?
I don't.
Since you're going to be signing off on this thing, or it's concluded you're going to be signing off on any disciplines coming from Sansi information?
It was unfounded.
Why was it unfounded?
It was a very lengthy investigation. No determination could not find a victim.
Didn't Lieutenant Casey find a victim?
That was disproved
How was it disproved?
through questioning to the Scranton Police Department.
So who did you talk to at the Scranton Police Department to find out that it wasn't true?
Well, the PSU investigators talked to several of the investigators, to include the chief, to find out if, Lieutenant Colonel Philbin had ever contacted him.
No, that's not what I was asking. I'm asking whether or not there was ever a victim located of someone who suffered an injury around the date, time, and location of the allegation that Philbin had struck somebody.
There was Lieutenant Casey had, in his report, indicated that a person died from some type of blunt trauma in East Greenwich during a period of time in the past. An investigation by PSU determined that person was not a person that was struck.
How did they determine it wasn't the person who was struck?
They interviewed the owner of the club that occurred, where the alleged incident took place, and there was nothing that could corroborate or connect the person that died to a time frame. Also, the person that was struck, the person that died, we don't know exactly if he fell or whatever. Lieutenant Colonel Philbin was working that night as the night executive officer. That the person died, and that he accounted for every minute of his night for a report.
Okay. So, Philbin, when you say he's a night executive, is that what you said?
Yes.
Why would that, his position as night executive, disprove his availability during a certain time frame for during when this person suffered an injury?
Objection.
Well, he was working, and every part of his report that was documented was verified that he was working that night in uniform in his cruiser patrol in the state.
How did you prove that?
By pulling the report and interviewing people that were either working or so there was no way to connect the person that was found that night to he was working in uniform.
And Lieutenant Colonel Philbin, you said he was night executive. He had been, that comes with a promotion, correct? That's the result of a promotion that he received, correct?
Well, a night executive officer is a lieutenant. So there are, to become a lieutenant, yes, you are promoted twice at that point. That's the third promotion.
But when the duties that come with being a night executive, or whatever that was he was at that point in time, that came with a kind of either a promotion or a specific designation that he received, correct?
Well, it's a job description.
Right. But that duty comes with a certain, not every trooper is a night executive.
No, you can be designated as a night executive officer, as a sergeant, or a lieutenant.
Okay. And so at some point he was designated as a night executive.
Yes.
Okay. Was he designated as a night executive before or after the person suffered the injury? That's part of his allegation.
The person. Sorry.
You can turn them off.
Well, the hour off. Go ahead. I'm getting multiple. I'm still the superintendent. There's a swap role. I still got to present something. Sorry.
Can you answer? We can take another break.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. So please ask me that question again.
Can you read that one back for me, please?
Was he designated as night executive before or after the person suffered the injury that's part of this investigation? Objection.
All I know is on the night that the person was found who died, and it was undetermined how that person died, except that there was an injury, that Lieutenant Philbin, at the time Lieutenant Philbin, was working that night in uniform on patrol.
And you determined that by his statement or by interviewing other people?
Both, by reading the reports and corroborating calls to service and radio traffic and so forth.
Now, were you involved in any investigations of a gentleman with last name Fleming?
Yes.
What investigations with Fleming were you involved in?
That was a personnel issue involving a trooper that came forward and felt that he was being unfairly treated.
I know what you meant.
Unfairly treated, I'm sorry. That's while Fleming was his supervisor.
And what happened with that investigation?
That was a strictly personnel matter. I believe a PSU was opened on that, but it was quickly turned over to State Human Resources, DOA, and they investigated.